The Trump administration Department of Homeland Security just fired 4 FEMA employees for issuing grants of a whopping $59.3 million to fund food, security, and lodging to illegal, undocumented migrants. $19 million of those funds were directly paid to New York City luxury hotels to provide lodging to the same group. New York City reportedly paid out $220 million to a Pakistani government-owned hotel to lodge illegal, undocumented migrants. Where are the plans to fund reparations for descendants of African-American slaves? Zero. In fact, President Donald Trump stated that he would pursue filing lawsuits against institutions of higher learning that racially discriminated certain groups under the guise of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And he would use the funds that courts would award as a result of those lawsuits to those discriminated groups, whites and Asians. And listen, I don't knock it because DEI is not the perfect way to ensure that you include all groups in institutions of higher learnings and places of employment. Listen, I graduated the top 2% of my class in the Borough of Manhattan Community College, and I was awarded a scholarship into New York University. If NYU would decide to block my entry into the school when I fulfilled every single academic credential to attend that school, then listen, give me my paper. If I was a victim of racial discrimination under the guise of DEI, because I was of Colombian descent, they would have said, listen, your people are bringing drugs into the country or whatever. But if you're going to provide reparations, because that's what it is at the end of the day, call it what you want. It's awarding court money, whatever they win as a result of a settlement, to these groups. It's reparations. You are financially compensating people due to a certain wrong. Why not provide the same reparations to a group, foundational Black Americans, that suffered physical mutilation, murder, violence, all types of abuse? The list goes on and on and on. Free labor that the ancestors of foundational Black Americans executed on behalf of building this country into what it is today, and didn't get compensated. Because listen, I have several clients that were born into a massive amount of generational wealth with real estate. They can just live off the rent coming from the real estate, and they don't have to work anymore. I was not born with a platinum blunt in my mouth. So it's only fair if you have whites who inherited generational wealth and they're able to live off it and they have that head start. How do you say that there's an equal playing field to achieve the American dream in this country when one ethnic group starts off on a 100-meter race, for instance, 50 meters behind the starting line, while whites, they have a head start of 50 meters. How is that equal? How are all men created equal if that is the particular case? Other groups have received reparations due to injustices that they had to undergo in this country. Why not foundational Black Americans? Why is there not a structured plan? I'm in full agreement. Listen, DEI is not perfect. Whatever the USAID is doing, issuing funds all across the globe through grants and all kinds of money that's coming out. Because listen, the United States has no business issuing money to other parts of the planet without ensuring that you stabilize and establish a strong financial foothold for every single group in this country. That is why I tell you, join the wait list, because in the wait list, as I've told you time and time again, I will work with you to ensure that you do not limit your ask for the amount of funds that you require to bring your projects and your mission to life. You do not limit it to grant administrators coming from the federal government, coming from private institutions. You tap into whatever resource is available to you. The universe is yours for the taking. You get every single resource by bootstrapping, ensuring that you establish your online presence and project everything about your mission to communicate and gather the people that you require to build attraction to attract funding via sales of your products, via pre-sales, via investments from venture capital, whatever it is that it requires. Seller financing, for instance. All kinds of ideas right here. I've been around the block several times. I worked with the 2012 Obama campaign and worked with Trump. They both became presidents. I got the Midas touch, baby.